All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully everybody is on the same page as far as what you're supposed to be doing. So we're going to go over that really quickly. And then we're going to discuss what is upcoming in the future. And then we will be done and y'all can have the rest of your day to work on other stuff. I'm going to pull up the assignment in Google Classroom first. We'll go over that quickly. And then we will talk about what's next. So the obviously y'all are all in the Google Classroom, and then this is the assignment that you're supposed to be working on. This kind of actually worked out. We were going to do an interview project at some point. Actually, it was going to be the next thing after your educational videos or educational visualization videos that we were going to shoot after we took the camera test. But we weren't able to actually make that happen. So anyway, we are going to do, who's this? Danny Phantom. Who's Danny Phantom? Hello, Sky. Okay. Anyway, so y'all should be on what, day 9 of this project, which is you should be editing and getting your video in order and getting it ready to turn in. We're just going to go through all the other days really quickly so that everybody is on the same page. If you're not, then you can catch up. You don't have to turn it in until tomorrow at midnight. That's when the actual cutoff time is. So you do have plenty of time to get that done. So once again, remember that you were supposed to make a separate Google Doc and keep it updated with your stuff. So day 1, you'd have a little heading, day 1, and then the assignment for that day. And then day 2, and then the assignment for that day. And day 3, the assignment for that day. So day 1 was just come up with who you're going to interview. Day 2 was to write 7 basic questions and try to make them as open-ended as possible. And sorry, I'm trying to figure out who this is. And then, so you're trying to make them open-ended, and that all open-ended question is just so that you are eliciting more than a one-word answer from your subject. So instead of saying what is your favorite color, and then saying blue, you could say, like this example right here, what is it that intrigues you about the color blue? And then they're going to have much more of an open answer. And the reason that you're trying to get an open answer is so that you can, when you're doing your interview and when you're actually doing your editing for your video, using the B-roll footage that you have, either pictures or video, you have more time to actually put those images and videos in your project while they're actually talking about them. So that's the purpose of an open-ended question, is so that you get more information than just a one-word answer. Day 3 was to come up with some more questions based on personal items. And the reason that you're choosing some personal items for this person that you're interviewing is so, like, in an interview, you don't know exactly what the answers to your questions are going to be because it is an interview. It's not scripted. But based on your questions, you can kind of guide their answers or direct their answers in the way that you want them to go. So asking questions about these personal items gives you the opportunity to shoot your B-roll footage about that personal item, or shoot, B-roll footage of that personal item. And then while they're answering the question and talking about it, you have your B-roll footage there already for you. So day 4 was just to edit your questions and write 5 more. And there are some examples right there. It says, use some of your own memories you have of this family member, or what is it that you want to know about this family member. And there are some examples right there. You could have just straight up used those. You could have come up with some more of your own, but you still needed to make sure that they were open-ended. Day 5 was review, and make sure that you had 15 questions. And then you're going to add a page to the document and label it interview questions and put them there. So 15 total, with at least 12 of them open-ended. Day 6 was B-roll. You should have been shooting video for like the special items that you included in your interview. Just, if you had any videos of the person you were going to interview, just of them, being goofy or just on camera, whatever, doing around stuff around the house, so that you could use that in your actual interview video. So day 7, you should have done your interview. There was a video here that gave you some tips on how to set up your shot, how to set up your interview space, and how to actually do it. I had some questions in the other class of people not being cooperative, family members not being cooperative, and allowing their students to film them. So I said that you could, if you had somebody else to interview, you could FaceTime. You could do an interview over FaceTime, kind of like this that we're doing. You could do an interview over Zoom, as not the best case scenario, but something to get the project done. And as an absolute worst case scenario, you could have set the camera up in selfie mode and just gone to town and interviewed yourself. So there's lots of different ways to get this project done. Hopefully you guys are all on pace to actually get it done. If you're not on day 9 right now, it's okay. You've still got time to get it done. Day 8 and 9, we're editing. And then right here on these things, it just says write a 1-sentence update of your progress. So on day 8 and day 9 in your document, you should have just a little 1-sentence update of what you did today and what you have left to do. Day 10 is editing, finish your video, and then submit it. So tomorrow when you're done with your video, you're just going to submit it. Now, there's several ways that you can do so. You can save it from whatever editing software you used, and we'll talk about those in just a second. Upload it to your Google Classroom or your Google Drive and turn it in that way. If it's too big to upload that way, or you can't get it to work that way, you can, if you have a YouTube channel, you can upload it there and send me the link. But if you can't get it done, like, don't stress, don't freak out. Just shoot me a message and say, Coach Hurst, I can't get it to upload anywhere, and we'll figure it out. This is the new normal because we're out of school for at least another 2 weeks. So we've got to figure out how to make this stuff work. All right. So if you go back to the actual classroom, I posted lots of different video editing apps in like 2 weeks ago, almost. And they're iOS and Android. These ones right here. And then there's also one that's iOS only. Now, if you have an iPhone, this one is my suggestion. iMovie is basically just a really dumbed down version of Final Cut Pro. It's not as powerful by any means, but it will work for this project. If you don't have an iPhone, or you want to try something else and you have, an iPhone and you want to try something besides iMovie, these 4 here were pretty good. Premiere Rush is actually really good. It's almost as powerful as like Final Cut Pro on your computer. The only thing is with it is that it's mobile. And if you really want to take advantage of all the features of it, you have to pay for it. And it's a subscription service, and I think it's like $5 a month. So that one is kind of expensive. You can use it for free, but you can only export 3 movies before you have to actually pay. The next 2, the InShot and KineMaster, those are relatively decent, but they are not they're not as good as iMovie or Adobe Rush or Premiere Rush. And these both have like a subscription model that is not monthly. It's like weekly. And they get really expensive really quickly. So that's why I put do not sign up unless you want to pay for it. You can cancel out the whole free trial thing and just use it as a guest or random user. And the only thing that it does is leaves like a little watermark in the bottom right corner of your video, which that doesn't bother me. The last one right here, this Quick by GoPro, it's what I did this little example with, wherever it is right there. You can use video and pictures, and you can have audio in the background. The only issue that I found with this is that you couldn't have multiple sources of audio. You could only have one different audio file. So those might be a little bit, or that might be a little bit difficult for the interview style questions or interview style video that I'm asking for with your B-roll and that kind of stuff. So iMovie is your best bet if you've got an iPhone. If not, the Adobe Rush is your next best choice. Once again, you can only have 3 exports before you actually have to pay for it. Now, I've given you also some tutorials on those. I didn't record them myself just because there's no sense in recreating the wheel. I just posted the YouTube link there. And then I gave you an example right here. I think I did day 1, 2, and 3 of what your biography interview project Google Doc should look like. And it is basically just, a header day 1 and then what you're supposed to do on that day. So that is basically everything with that. And if you had any questions, I know that some people had sent me some things. I didn't have anything out of this class. I did have, Cade sent me about 14 million questions, but unfortunately he's not even here today for me to answer them in person. So, but that's where we are with this. You've got, the rest of today and all day tomorrow to get this thing done. If you've got any questions, shoot me an email, send me a message on Classroom, or ask now. Because that's basically what your grade is going to be. It's going to be a regular 100-point project grade. I'm not going to be looking at your editing skills per se, just because the editing software that you use, I can't tell you that you have to use a certain one because, most of you may not have all the same things. So whatever editing software you can make work, go for it. If you've got a computer, like a PC, not a Chromebook, but if you've got a PC, there's also a Windows Movie Maker that you can get on like a PC laptop. And it is not the greatest thing in the world, but it is a little bit more powerful than the ones you can use on your phone. So that's also another option. Did y'all have any questions about like the editing software?
Any questions that I had, I just looked it up and watched a video on it.
Thank you, Jada. That's exactly what I was expecting y'all to do.
Because I couldn't figure out how to do the beat on the iPad, so I just watched a video on it and then explained it perfectly. So
you couldn't figure out how to do what?
Do the B-roll.
Okay, cool.
But
all right, Isabella, do you have any questions? Did you figure it all out?
Mm-hmm.
Jason, Danny Phantom, I don't even know who that is.
Huh?
Did you have any questions on the project?
No.
All right, sounds good. All right, so moving on, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. So moving on, what we're going to do is for the rest of the time that we're out of school. As y'all know, we're out until at least April 13th at this moment. I don't know when else we'll be coming back or when we'll go back to school. I'm hoping that we do because I'm going insane. It was fun for a day or two, but now I'm ready to go back to school. Even Jason, I bet, is ready to go back to school.
Who, me?
Yes.
I got a dog on me.
Thanks, man. So anyway, what's next? Well, I asked questions in my third period level 1 class yesterday and got some suggestions. Do y'all have anything before I start telling you what I've been thinking of what y'all can do as far as your video projects are concerned? I would love it if I could let y'all, take an iMac home with you so that you would have at least access to the real editing software. But unfortunately, I don't have enough, and I can't check them out to y'all. So, do y'all have any suggestions for things that y'all would like to do?
What if we shot our own music video? Like, it would be us, which would be, a little sad, but it's something.
No.
Isabella says no. Hold on, who's this? I still can't figure out who this Danny Phantom is.
It's Wesley.
It's Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley. Turn your camera on. Thank you.
Look at that.
Why is your name Danny Phantom?
Imagine this just biting.
That's just what I made it. That way I can airdrop people random stuff. Yeah.
There's that red-headed, black-headed gold-toed Mexican right there.
All right. So anyway, the things that I've written down were some daily type vlog type videos. just recording like things that you've done on a daily basis. Flip your camera up in selfie mode, walk around, be like, all right, today we're doing blah, 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 blah. I mean, like just something like that. Hello.
Who is that? Oh, it's probably Wesley's grandpa.
They can hear you. They can hear you.
Look here, Andrew.
Andrew's not on there.
It's not Andrew.
Can she hear me?
I guess my landlord just got done cussing my neighbors out.
Well, that's not good. I probably need to mute you.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I can't hear him. I just know because he left their house.
All right. So anyway, what I'm thinking is some daily vlogs. That might be an option. Also, if you have anything that you're like good at, like a skill that you could
Push-ups.
somebody how to do.
Isabella, skill is sleeping.
Yeah. Like I know in my communications class in college, we had to give
I
a
didn't
speech.
even know
like,
we had Zoom meetings.
But you didn't know
Neither
we
did
had
I.
a Google
I
Classroom
do
until
now.
I emailed your
Thanks to
mama.
Isabella. She was like, join the Zoom meeting. And I was like, what? And I got to check my Google email yesterday. And I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, man. I've been posting stuff since we've been out. So you need to make sure you're checking it at least daily, at least once a day.
Math is hard.
Anyway, so if you've got any kind of skill that you can teach, like I said, in my communications class in college, we had to give an informational, like instructional speech. And I did mine on like the step-by-step process on how to make the perfect peanut butter jelly sandwich. So if you wanted to do something like that, I will post. Good Lord. Somebody's being loud. I'm going to, on the next couple days, and I'll definitely have it posted by Sunday, post what your assignment is for the next little while. I was going to try to keep it a 2-week thing and like give you 2 weeks on these videos. But if we do something like the daily vlogs or something like that, something short, it may just be a 1-week thing. The last option that I had was to do a film study, basically watch something on Netflix or Amazon Prime. If you don't have access to one of those things, let me know. And then I will, try to figure out something for you, something free that you can watch on YouTube. But anyway, like a film study, kind of like we started with the Tron movie when I was absent on whatever day that was. So basically that's what I'm looking at doing as far as like what's coming up. If you can get in contact with anybody that is not present today, like Cade and Deja, I invited Tucker. I've emailed Tucker about 14 times. Still nothing. And I have no information on Cassidy either. I don't know why she's not here either. So if you got contact in for those people, please make sure that
My shoulder hurts.
if you can get in touch with them, tell them they need to check their Google Classroom and be sure they're keeping up with their schoolwork. Because I know y'all are in full-blown summer mode, but we're still in school. So you got to make sure that you're doing this stuff because this will count. Some school systems have paused grading. We have not. So you need to make sure that you're actually completing whatever you're supposed to be completing for all of your other classes. Speaking of other classes, how are those going? Is your workload too much, too little?
Math, he's loading us every single day. And I don't
My bad.
time to get my other stuff done. Like math is like the only thing I have to work on every single day because he uses so much effort.
Right. Well, Mr. Farney, they had a leadership team meeting last week, or not last week, whatever, Monday. And Mr. Farney has kind of given everybody like a baseline of what work that we should be assigning. So if that doesn't come down, then, maybe shoot Mr. Farney an email and say, hey, I can't do all this. This is too much. So, and we'll see from there. But I don't feel like I've given y'all too much to do. I mean, my assignment, if you've been working on it every day, it should have taken you maybe, 25, 30 minutes every day to actually, get where you should be right now. So, and that's what I'm planning on continue doing with the rest of our assignments.
What are you smiling at, man?
Who are you talking to?
Isabella, man. She's just like staring and just like cheesing the whole time I've been in this.
Isabella just misses all of us because she hasn't seen us.
She's just like, oh man, I need to see Wesley. Woo.
All right. Well, I'm going to let y'all get on with your days unless y'all have any other questions. I will post this recording in our classroom. So if you get in touch with anybody, tell them they can just go to the classroom and watch this video, and it will cover everything that we've covered. They can just watch it at a later date. We will have these meetings. Let's see. Second period is Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. I plan on having those. So I will be posting those in Google Classroom. So just expect to connect and have a chat every Tuesday, Thursday for a little while.
Oh, my shoulder hurts so bad.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Peace.
Bye.